Martinez, and we're broadcasting live from the Plan B Forum in El Salvador. Right now, I am here with Eddie and Julian, who are recently
moved here.
Yeah,
full
moved
time.
here.
And we're from originally New York, Pennsylvania, Dallas, myself, Miami, and Eddie brought me out here. And so, do you want me to start, or do you want him to start?
Yeah, I mean, tell me all about it. Like,
right.
You're
well,
Salvadorian?
I think Eddie should start because he's El Salvadorian.
All right.
And I'm here because of what he informed me about the country and everything happening.
So Baxter and us, we're health and wellness guys. Education, healing, nutrition, building community, retreats, that's our biggest passion. So blockchain, tech, Bitcoin, sovereignty, it's all about freedom and not just your finances, but in the mind and body. So that's our main reason we're in El Salvador. We're building wellness resorts, moving into the blockchain, fractional ownership, tokenization. But wellness is our background. But I'm Salvadorian, grew up in the States, and came here 2 years ago, saw the transformation, told Julian, he understands blockchain, he's an analyst, and he really understood markets. And I said, listen, bro, this is the place if you want to do all the things that we're doing in the States. So we came to El Salvador, and we launched a company called Travel El Salvador.
Okay.
We're building wellness resorts, and we bought about 1,000 acres beachfront in the country. And we purchased a home called the Bitcoin Mansion in El Sunsal in La Libertad. And we've been using that home as the headquarters for events, education around Bitcoin, and then also doing our wellness retreats.
Okay, so Bitfinex just did the Financial Freedom Tour El Salvador last week, right?
Yeah.
And I believe they had an event at your Bitcoin Mansion.
Correct.
Yeah, how did that go?
It went amazing. I mean, we got to share the vision, share with a couple people and locals about what we're up to. And, ultimately, I created the Bitcoin Mansion brand in Miami, Florida. And I looked at Bitcoin as healing our financial industry.
Yeah.
As he said, we're big on healing. My background's in acupuncture. I'm a doctor of acupuncture. Always, looked at it as we got to heal ourselves. And I look at Bitcoin as healing our finances as a globe, as a world. And we got to heal the planet, so we have a nonprofit. We're doing a lot of great things in eco-diversity stuff. And so we want to attack all angles of this and really help in the banking with Bitcoin and just all industries revolving around community. And Eddie's been massive in the community space. That's what he's done for 18 years, is build teams, leadership roles, coaching, and building communities in health and wellness. So when we came together, I saw that he had a knack for that, and he was really good at building community. I was good at seeing the potentials and bringing in strategic partners, and so we collaborated to create the communities, and so we're attacking this from multiple angles. Ultimately, we want to heal people, heal the planet, and heal our finances.
Nice, man. What you guys are doing is amazing. Eddie, you mentioned before the interview started that you lived here as a child, and then you came back 2 years ago. What kind of changes have you seen in El Salvador, I guess, from when you were here as a youngster and then coming back?
Yeah. So I never lived in the country, but I was in and out for the first 18 years of my life.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing initially, my biggest childhood memories is vacationing in the mountains and the beaches, all that's the same. But I think it was when I was around 13, 14 years old, I started to realize this place isn't safe. You go out with your friends and your family, and then they're someone's following us.
Yeah.
My family's going through extortion. And so it was a crazy challenging time for the whole family.
Yeah, I bet.
And so I just stopped coming for 17, 18 years. I said I had no plans on ever coming back to the country. When my grandma passed and I came and I saw, I was like, wow, it really is safe. To me, my dream was always trying to get to Costa Rica, move to Costa Rica, move the family there. So I said, wow, I got the pros of Costa Rica, the safety, the good food, the volcanoes, the mountains, the oceans. But now we have an opportunity to bring technologies like Bitcoin to El Salvador and build on this. To me, that's where I think the biggest thing is, where tourism's exploding, but now we have an opportunity on the blockchain space to do things that not even just in El Salvador, but in the world, no one's doing,
Yeah, I would agree completely. The attitude that the government has taken to be open-minded to new technologies like Bitcoin is really revolutionary. And I think because El Salvador is such a small country, it allows them that freedom to be a little more nimble than, a more regulated place like the US or Europe, for instance. With the Bitcoin Mansion, there's a guy named Michael Ruiz who also had a retreat there. Is that correct?
Yeah. Sovereignty Studios, they're great. We collaborate with them on a few things, and we've been doing some awesome stuff with them in the past.
So if someone comes to El Salvador, like how do they get in touch with you? How can they come stay at the Bitcoin Mansion or have their event there?
I mean, we're primarily on Instagram.
Okay.
So the btcmansion.com is our website.
Nice.
The Bitcoin Mansion is our handle. They can hit us up on Instagram, go on our website, book directly on our website, inquire there. And then we have Travel El Salvador, where we're helping people with everything A to Z to come to the country, learn about our investment opportunities, healing centers we're doing. But ultimately, everything we're doing is a means to an end, build a community, provide for the community. And I think financial freedom is the ultimate expression of that, to give people time freedom to really heal themselves and really focus on what matters.
Yeah,
right?
I would agree.
So I love the brand that Bitfinex is promoting of travel, financial freedom, because that's ultimately like we're striving to do. And healing people, you need time to do that.
Yeah, we're basically trying to be a platform where like you can, live outside of the traditional financial system.
Yep.
Using a Bitcoin first like set of financial tools, right?
Yeah,
So,
you got to leverage your time and money.
yeah. So with Travel El Salvador, like, do you guys organize trips? Do you do tourist excursions? Like, what can people expect?
Ultimately, that's what we're going to transition to. Right now, we're just building the platform, building the community. We're focusing more right now on identifying who identifies with us, with the healing centers, and the active tree growing we're going to start doing in the country to help CO2 emissions, cleaning the water, the air, and just a lot of humanitarian stuff, as well as the crypto aspect of it and tokenization.
That's amazing. What kind of interest do you see from people like outside of El Salvador? Like, are they looking to come here now? Like, now that it's like safe and stuff, are like people more open-minded about traveling to El Salvador, or do you think they still kind of have like that bad reputation, like in the minds of people that aren't really into Bitcoin?
I think the first response is always like, "You're really in El Salvador? Like, is that like you moved there? Your wife, your kids, your dogs? Like, is this for real?"
Yeah.
And
They're
so
shocked.
people have questions like, what's it like? What's the schools like? What's do they really use Bitcoin there? Is it really safe? So as you start like answering these questions, people are like, man, I need to get down to El Salvador. And when they come, the reason we actually even got the house is because we, our whole life has been around building events to bring communities together. Like that's where like the most magical things happen.
Yeah.
You can watch this event online, but why do people come to the events? It's for the people that are there, right? It's the network, the
life-changing.
community,
100%.
all that. And so I think that with the house, when we initially got it, we were trying to find a space to do events, but hotels are either you're too loud or you're
limited.
You're limited by capacity.
Time.
There's all these kinds of limitations, and we want people, again, sovereignty, freedom. We want people to go there. It's your house, experience the house, and build community. And so when people know that when they come to El Salvador, and that's their first impression is a home like that, it makes you feel pretty good about what's possible in El Salvador.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say that El Salvador is like stunningly beautiful. Like, especially like
the
where the Bitcoin
landslide-
Mansion is. Like, I've seen
landslides.
pictures online and stuff, and you guys are like literally like overlooking the water, like
On a
the
cliff,
edge,
yeah,
like,
with
at
an
the
ocean
beach.
pool.
Yeah.
It's a one-of-a-kind
Feels like
property.
you're on a cruise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Like, so I would say like when people come there, that's like a jaw-droppingly impressive.
Yeah, they think
like,
they're in
vista that you
Italy
guys
or
have. Yeah.
Europe or something. It looks totally different. You wouldn't think you're in Central America. But
How far is the Bitcoin Mansion from here?
About 40 minutes.
40 minutes
Yeah,
from
from the
capital?
city. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I made it in 30.
Okay.
yeah. If you're speeding, yeah. And to go back to your question, what people felt. I know I personally felt. I thought Eddie lost it. We're not related. I know we look alike.
Yeah.
But he's a good, trusted friend. I decided to, I need to be around people I trust and that have the same vision as me.
Yeah.
After building my business, he built his business. We came together to do something. And he told me about El Salvador, and the first impression was like, no way. I look online, I see arms cut off, people like killing. Like, I was like, this is crazy. I told my wife, like, I don't know if we're gonna do this or not. This is probably not gonna happen. He's like, just come and see. I come here, I do my analytics. That's how my brain works. I see that there's so many El Salvadorians living outside the country, and studies showed so many are moving back. And then I saw the Bitcoiners, the progressive, the president. I'm like, wow, there's something special here.
I was pleasantly surprised by like walking around like San Salvador, like for a city in Latin America, it's very clean. At
Yeah.
night, like
It's
now
wholesome.
that like all the criminals have been locked up, like you can walk around like at night and it feels super
Yeah,
safe. Like
not only that, like El Salvador's overall, it's very wholesome. I've been a lot of places in the world. You see prostitutions in the street.
Yeah.
People are mostly with their kids. They're well dressed. They're professional, mostly in the city, and it's really safe. The schools are great as well.
there's like an optimism that's like tangible here too, because like the people like lived under like such oppressive conditions. Like now that they have their freedom, like you can feel like an energy in the air here of like optimism, and like people have like hope for the future.
And I think it's so exciting because, you know, what Bukele was saying is how he was cleaning up the streets and making sure the place was safe, and now his focus is on the economy.
Yeah.
And I think El Salvador is the second fastest growing tourism country in the world right now. And he hasn't really like doubled down on the economy yet, so you can only imagine what's happening. That's why I love the fact that you guys did the Freedom Tour, the Financial Freedom Tour, because that's what we're really all about. It's like sovereignty and freedom in the mind, body, and soul.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons why I brought Julian to El Salvador is because, you know, Julian, when I met him, he was studying to be a doctor. He was studying acupuncture. Then he went into the space of managing and owning homes in Miami, and he had like, I don't know, $200 million in
real estate. I was running Airbnbs, and it was almost by accident. And that's how I found out about Bitcoin. Was one of my Airbnb guests was like, you got to get. He had a computer store. He came over. He like opened his laptop, showed me how to buy Bitcoin, have crypto, and he was renting a room for me in my apartment.
Okay.
And then next thing you know, he's like, you know what? You should get more places and do arbitrage.
Yeah.
Never seen this guy again, but that's exactly what I did. I started buying Bitcoin, started doing Bitcoin arbitrage, Airbnb arbitrage, and renting and subleasing. So I made enough money in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin to buy a house and call it the Bitcoin Mansion. And then I expanded from there, and I leveraged that one house to show owners like, hey, look what I've done. And this is early when Airbnb was just rising, 2014, 15. By 18, it was really like a household name.
Yeah.
So I caught the wave of crypto, of Airbnb, and
That's
tourism
incredible.
in Florida. Yeah.
You're just in the right place at the right time.
That's all it is, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what's happening here.
Yeah.
We're at the right time in the right place. And if you research reverse migration, you see other countries that have gone through it. You're talking about 800%.
living proof, right?
Yeah, like millions of El Salvadorans are going to come back, invest, and property value is going to explode. And the most interesting thing is El Salvador has 21,081 square kilometers. 21,000, which is similar to Bitcoin, 21 million.
Yeah.
So I tell people, like, there's only a limited supply of land here.
Yeah.
You get some, you know, before it's too late. So.
Yeah. So the conference, how's the conference been treating you guys?
Well, we just got here.
This is the first Plan B here. Like they've run it in Switzerland like for a few years.
This is our first Plan B. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
Lugano,
people,
but
great
it's the first time in
energy.
El Salvador.
The setup, the art. I love that they put it in a museum.
Yeah.
That's really clever. Like you could see the cultural part of El Salvador here. It's cool.
Yeah, I like how there's a focus on like Spanish language presentations too.
Yeah,
because
that's awesome.
I've been to other conferences in different places, and like that's what always like impressed me about Plan B, because like in Lugano, it's like the Italian part of Switzerland, right? So like they always have like the Italian part where all the presentations are in Italian for the local language speakers, and like I feel like they really did that and focused on making the information accessible to Salvadorians, which I really like.
Yeah.
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 Super important. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, since you've been here, like, you guys have been here 2 years, you said?
Well,
Yeah.
living here 7 months
7
full time,
months?
but
Okay.
yeah, back and forth for 2 years.
How do you see, like, the Bitcoin adoption, like, here in El Salvador, like, over the time that you've been here living?
Well, for me personally, it's incredible. As soon as I moved here, I actually, Sovereignty Studio guys, Mike and Jordan, are my
Yeah.
neighbors.
Oh, okay.
One lives on one side, one lives on the other. So I was like so surprised to meet other Bitcoiners on my block as soon as I got here.
Just
And
randomly.
So then it's like, Eddie, I think this is going to be like crazy the amount of people moving here, because I just moved here and I meet just, my
Yeah.
neighbors are all American or not from here. So it's pretty cool. So I'm seeing the transformation. I'm seeing the people coming. We go out to eat. We see Bitcoiners everywhere, American speaking.
Or even in real estate transactions, nearly all of them that we did were on Bitcoin, nearly all of them.
Yeah.
And, you know, some of the owners, they don't want to accept Bitcoin, but they're totally open to the process of us moving the Bitcoin in and then using like a third party to do the transaction. So whether the owner is willing to take crypto or not, or Bitcoin or not, the fact that they understand the process, that they're getting a check from a third party that got the Bitcoin, like it's basically the same thing for us, you know.
Yeah. Are you guys able to run your Bitcoin mansion on a Bitcoin standard, or
Yeah.
do you still have to use fiat a little bit?
All of our employees pretty much take them because it's legal tender here, and it's pretty cool that we can accept Bitcoin as well. And
The platform takes Bitcoin.
yeah, and it's so cool. We were just talking about this event, and then we're seeing people that we've seen from Vegas, Puerto Rico, from all over the world,
Yeah.
and they're here, and we connected with them in those places. And we were sharing about a digital bank that we started, that we can loan against Bitcoin. Here in this country, we started a bank. And then, so it's really cool stuff. Yeah.
That's amazing. You guys were able to start like a Bitcoin bank here?
Yeah, we got in at the right time. It was kind of grandfathered into the structure we have, and it's very unique, and we submitted patents for our structure.
Okay.
So we want to be like a one-of-a-kind type bank, where it's kind of like a credit union concept where we can, it's a PMA, like private member association, where you pay a subscription, and we will give you services for Bitcoin, USDT, and we want to give out loans eventually and provide other services and tokenization concepts and for other projects come on board so that we can offer crowdfunding for them through Bitcoin.
That's super cool, man. Like,
Yeah.
when are you guys going to be able to like offer like a Bitcoin bank account to like the public?
It's a few months.
Probably April, May.
Yeah.
We're taking our
April
time.
or May?
Yeah, this year.
Wow.
So we're rushing with this, and then we have the nonprofit where we're accepting Bitcoin for nonprofits to take initiatives in the country here as well.
That's amazing, man. I love how you guys kind of focus on this like humanitarian aspect and give back to the community.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super
We
cool.
really believe in karma and being healers. Like that's a big part of it.
Yeah. We're running out of time. We're going to close out the interview, but is there anything else that you guys want to say? Do you want to give your social media or anything like that to the audience?
Yeah, so Travel El Salvador is the company.
Yeah.
Bitcoin Mansion site. My
Okay.
social is Eddie Mentor, EDDIEMENTORE, and
Yeah, and then mine's Julian Ducheine. If you go to, but Bitcoin Mansion is where you can find us mostly. The BTCmansion.com and the Bitcoin Mansion handle.
Amazing. Well, they're waiting here for you in El Salvador if you guys make it out here.
Awesome.
coming to El Salvador.
Yes.